Hello, everyone.
Here we are. We're back again.
Laura Lee Mystica and Daniel Flowerdew here. Welcome to a new episode of Really Weird Shit on Steroids. And we have some great intel for you guys today. So
Great weird shit today.
Great weird shit. So hopefully you have your popcorn and root beer on hand because you're going to be wanting it.
It's going to be
So,
fun.
it's going to be fun.
You can find us in...
All of our websites are in the details below. Yep.
Below.
Down. And so yeah, get ready because we're going to start off today with a little bit of a story for you guys. This is something that just happened 2-3 days ago on October 31st. So
on Halloween.
Yep, on Halloween.
Our Halloween story.
Yep. It's a sad one, so have your box of tissues on hand.
It's pretty sad, and we'll put some pictures up too. But it started out in May of this year.
Yeah.
And almost 6 months ago. And I got some brand new baby chicks. They're little miniatures, and they were so cute. So tiny. And about a week after I got them, I went down, and one of them was, her leg was like out like this, and she couldn't walk.
Like instead of her leg being like this, it was literally like flipped all the way around.
All the way back. And she was on the ground trying to get around with this leg like this. And
yeah, because it wasn't just like this; it was like in the back, and like it was twisted in every ankle.
And I'm like, how did that happen? And the only thing I can think of is, and I've done this before, and this never happens. I've thought about this a lot. Why now, and why her?
Yeah, because how many chickens did you have in there?
I've had. Well, there was
in just
11.
that one batch. There was 11 in just that one batch, and this was the only one.
And I put some branches in there, and I thought, well, maybe she got caught in one of the branches, but they need something to, besides a square box. I mean, it makes them go nuts if you don't have something to do, and they love to get on the little branches. And so I was just like, oh my gosh, and I was trying to do everything I knew to like put it back in shape, but it was like it had pulled the joint out. It wasn't broken. The leg was not broken.
No.
And it was so cute when I would hold her. I had them down in the basement, and I would sit on the stairs, and I would hold her and try to work with her and pet her, and the rest of them would go nuts until I brought her back. It's like they just they're like squawking, and then I brought her back, and then they're okay.
And she'd fall asleep too while either of us were doing physical therapy on her. She would fall asleep.
So then, after I had them for a little over a month, then Daniel came over, and we transferred them out to the big house outside, and we've got some pictures of that. And they were like, oh my gosh, we died and went to heaven. This is so big.
They were very, very happy.
Very happy. Except for little JT, and I thought, what am I gonna, she was just hobbling. She never walked again. And I thought I thought somehow we could fix her. Now, she did have on her ear, she had this, it was like it was
almost like dry skin. Like,
well, it was fat
puffy.
though. It was fat and puffy, like it was some kind of
like a blister or something.
What are those
a
things?
wart?
No.
Because I'm trying to think, like, it was very firm. And,
like a boil, but not a boil, but kind of warty looking. Yeah, it was kind of like that. And so I put a combination of baking soda and castor oil, and then I think I put some catalyst water, and I think that's all. I was going to put some essential oils, but I think that's all I did. And I put it on like 3 times a day. And within, I would say, 3-4 weeks, it just kept going down and down and down. And it was fine. So I thought, okay, we can do this. We can
Because it was big at first. When Laura first showed me, I was like, are you sure that's not something just dried on the outside of her ear? Is that, you know...
and then you felt it and you're like...
Yeah, and it's like, no, that's not...
No.
It's not poop or something, you know. Little birds, you have to, you know,
Yeah.
you have to look for that. But no, it wasn't. It was her ear. And every time I'd come by, it was a little bit smaller every time. Until it was completely gone. And, yeah, you know, we kind of figured since we're both, you know, therapists, you know, we're both very intuitive, psychic even, you know, sometimes we can do that. So we figured, you know what, we've got a really good chance here.
Well, and then while she was getting bigger and growing up, and we were like, okay, we gotta figure out a way so she's not on her belly all the time. So we rigged up a sling to put her in. A couple of them.
The first one, I spent hours sewing together the Velcro.
Well, the first one was a plastic bag. Okay,
that's right. The first fabric one, I spent hours sewing.
You did,
and then Laura Lee's just like, oh, actually, we're going to take the Velcro off. We're just going to do it this way.
And we're like, no.
That was my whole day's work.
Boy Scouts is out the window.
In all fairness, it looked terrible, but, you know...
So, yeah, I found another way to do that. And it
which was a
better.
lot easier.
Yes.
Yeah, it did work a lot better.
So she would be in that, and then I would take her out every once in a while. But then after a while, when the rooster started getting roostery.
When he got his teenage years going on.
Yes, those hormones going. We had to put her in a cage so that he didn't have his way with her all the time.
And they were really big too. Like, these were huge wire cages, so she had full range to open her wings and eat and, you know, scuttle around because she, you know,
scuttle around. Mostly she would go in circles.
Mostly
it was very
circles.
Interesting. Now tell them about when she bit you.
Yeah, okay, so I was out watering the garden one day singing to the plants because I love to sing, and all of a sudden Laura Lee hears the birds squawking, so we go in there to check on them, and all of the little birds are on the far corner of the pen. Later on that day, I went to go and hold JT to do physical therapy on her, and she actually pecked at me, and she's never done that before. She pecked me multiple times too, always on the same hand, just like, no, let go of me, I'm done with this. Until we found what was attacking me and attached to me.
Yeah, it was a shove on.
It was a shove on, and as soon as we got all of that cleared up, she was totally fine.
It was
never
amazing.
Pecked me again.
It was amazing.
Yeah.
So, you know, fast forward, so we've been doing this for months and months, and, you know, I put her in her sling. It took a long time, and then I also was giving her special vitamins and her treats to help her joints and her ligaments, and then I'd have to watch and make sure the other ones didn't need it because they would.
And there was also a topical cream, too, that was for arthritis and pain in the joints. So yeah.
We did. It took a lot of time and energy, but she was so worth it, and she was so sweet. That's one thing that was her trademark, is she was just a little sweetheart. And then we found out that she was a quail. That was her authentic Suma was a quail.
And not a quail from here either. This is a quail from outside of the hologram. They're a lot different than, you know, the little quails we have here are just as beautiful and, you know, pure.
They're very,
but the quails
almost as pure,
at home,
but the ones from home, purity is their trademark. And that's just how this little sweetheart was. She was just a little pure thing.
Yep.
And so
we even took her to the vet and got her leg x-rays. Her vet even said that she was very impressed with how we were handling this, and she had hope for the situation as well, just as we did. You know, it's like, you know,
and that was like 3 months ago, I think, 2 months ago.
Right around there. Right around there. It was still sunny and warm.
Yes, it was.
It's not anymore.
And mosquitoes, right?
And the mosquitoes. The mosquitoes.
Yes.
Oh, the mosquitoes.
We had lots of them. So things were going along. And then about 3 weeks ago, I go out there, and I thought, it kind of looks weird, because I had a little box that had a lid on it, but it wasn't a lid; it was a wire lid,
And
so
it was very secure.
Very secure.
Sorry, I just wanted to add that.
And she had, and I put little plastic windows in the box so she could see out, because she always had to know where her peeps were all the time. If she couldn't see them, she would start squawking. It's like, where's my peeps? So I went out there, and it looked a little bit dark or weird. And I let all the other ones out first, and I pulled the box out, and I was shocked. It was full of blood. It was like a bloodbath. And that was the first time, and you were on your way, weren't you?
Yes, I was on my way, and when I got here, Laura Lee showed me, and if you're imagining what it would look like with the cardboard completely full, double that. It was caked
and
on the
was
bottom.
Stuck.
It was
she there was so much blood that her wings were literally stuck.
And we looked all over her legs, her wings, her abdomen, her neck, everything. And we did not find a single cut, bruise, no indication of injury other than her knee, ankle,
right,
whatever
but
that
there was
would be
that wasn't,
for a chicken.
Nothing was worn off. It's not like
there was no skin. Yeah.
And she was...
no skin broken off.
I checked her vent, so nothing was coming out of her vent. Checked her belly. We checked, I thought, okay, she scraped something. We could find nothing.
And then we both got the intel that it was not her blood at all. And that led us on some really weird shit hunts.
Really weird shit hunts.
Yeah, I'm hearing we could share a little bit about it.
Okay.
So it led us through 3 different days worth of going after different groups of entities, including level 9.8 crypto that was several thousand years old. And is it okay if we say this part I'm hearing? We can. Okay. I'm just double checking because this was pretty major. So this crypto was impersonating Yeshua, Jesus, Sananda, Ganesh, all the different ascended masters. He was basically mimicking and pretending to be anyone out there that was receiving prayers or worship. And so he had a lot of juice behind him. And one thing
sucking in all those prayers. I mean, this guy was... I thought it was a 9.9 by the time we...
I think it was.
And was that the one that kept escalating? Or was that a different one?
That was a different one.
Okay.
That was a different one. That was a different one, but it's still a part of the bloodbath scenario.
This, yes.
Yeah. So yeah, we got rid of that crypto and all of his subordinates. And what was interesting was he wouldn't be channeled himself.
Right.
He only had his underlings be channeled, and then he would tell them what to say. For the few of you that are watching this that don't know what channeling is, because I'm sure most of you know, channeling is when a person allows in another entity or group of entities to speak through them, generally with good intentions, but generally the entity is not good. So that's about all I have to say about
that. That's in a nutshell.
That's in a nutshell. That simplifies it a little bit too much, but it simplifies it. Always use your intuition. Always use your nose.
Yes.
So...
Well, she had... It wasn't just one thing. It was like, we found 3 that day, I think. And we thought, okay, we're good.
That was a different day.
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah.
I mean, this portal thing, she was like a magnet to 9.8, 9.9 horrible things that are messing with this planet and messing with us.
Yeah.
It's
and one of them even led us to finding, 500 different glitches in the hologram?
Yes,
that
glitches.
Started off as nothing, and that was the one that escalated. It started off as literally like a 2 threat a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
But then by the time we got to it, it was an 8, I believe. And then if we didn't deal with it that day, it would have gotten to be like a 9.9.
I thought it was like 8.7 or 8.8.
It was pretty high up
rising.
there.
And it
fast.
was scary because this glitch happened when the D-Monster
forced on the hologram.
Yes. Well, when she came into the hologram, it was just like an anomaly, that there was this glitch. And then she thought, she didn't even really know what it did. She just kind of, was she using? Did she use
There was one glitch that she used. I don't know how she found it, because like I kept hearing that she didn't really know what the glitches were, but she was able to use this glitch to corrupt magic. So go back to our last video to hear about magic and how it's supposed to be run and how it's been run. But because of that glitch that she manipulated,
everything went to hell in a handbasket. So so we handled the glitches. It was not easy handling the stuff that was on this little JT. That was what we called her,
poor little girl.
Bud, was off the charts. I've had a lot of stuff on a lot of my chickens, but nothing like one after the other, after the other, after the other. And this poor little thing, and I kept checking her happy meter to see, okay, is did she just want to get out of this planet? And it was always a 9, 9.2, 9.7, 9.3.
Even when her life force, like let's say you have a meter of life force, right? When you're fully healthy and fully in the body, you're way up here. She was like down to like a 2 or a 3 at one point, and she was still like a 9.5 happy. She was still as happy
amazing.
As a clam, just
flapping around.
Yeah.
Oh,
and I think there was 5 or 6 different days where there were bloodbaths.
Yes.
There were like 3 that were really bad.
The first one, after we cleared all the stuff from the first one, woke up, nothing. Second day, nothing. Third day, there's a little splotches.
Yeah.
Then bloodbath, but not as bad, maybe half as bad.
Yeah.
And we pulled more stuff off, and then she was okay. And then more bloodbaths. And then it turned in, that happened like over and over. And then it turned into, we could see her own blood. So we knew it wasn't what it was the first time when it wasn't hers.
Yeah, the first 2 times it was not her blood at all. It was actually a conglomeration of, I think, 21 or 22 different animals. And yeah, it led us to finding an old system that Marduk used to run, as well as nice? Different global elitists, their ceremonial magicians, and perhaps someday we'll be able to share all the notes, but that...
Yeah, this is just the brief.
This is the brief.
Yeah, because these things that we found, we're just like shocked. It's like, oh my gosh, this is so bizarre, but it was true. You could feel that it was true. And then there was physical evidence that things started getting better after we got rid of this stuff.
You know what? I just remembered too, we did start talking about this in the last video. So if you remember when we were talking about all of those people standing behind us and we were just laughing at them and they were disappearing. Right, that was part of this. Yes, that was part of this.
After one of the bloodbaths. Yes.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah. So she had to deal with a ton of attacks. Like most people would not have survived what she went through. And she still had a 9.8 happy meter. And I would double check and be like, is she just feeling drugged right now?
Yeah.
A little bit, but she's still happy. Is this just anemia? No, she's just happy.
So then she did start getting, after she got her toenail. Her toenail came off. And then another toenail came off, like overnight. It wasn't off in the morning. It came off over at night. And then that got a little better. And then it got worse, and I could see the pads on her little toes.
So real quick, the only time that we saw her happy meter get below like a 9 or an 8.9 was when we had to wash her leg out in the spigot because she was covered in blood. Yes, I think she cut down like a 7.5 right then, but that was the lowest.
And she had a poopy butt, so we had to clean that off too. So yeah, that brought it down to 8.8 or 8.9. That's true.
It was still really, really high though. It was still really high. Sorry,
true.
that's why I was
that's
laughing
good.
while you were talking about
That's
the toenails being torn off, because it was. And then I just remembered,
Yeah.
that was.
Because we had to clean her up and get it, yeah. And so we were spraying it with the chicken spray concoction, and trying to keep her as clean as we could. And I was starting to get really challenged because now about a week ago, Daniel came over and we made this little box for her. I thought, what are we going to do when it gets really cold? And so
because up here in Northwest, it gets way below freezing.
Yeah, like
in the dead of winter.
Like next week, it's supposed to be like
12 degrees.
12 13 degrees. Okay, so cold.
It's supposed to snow tonight.
Yeah, yep.
So,
so when we so we had I ordered a heating pad, so I thought, okay, we'll put this little cage over and a little heating pad, we're going to be okay. And then I came out and she wouldn't flap as heavy as she used to. We would get her out and we'd hold her and go, fly, 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 fly. And
chase the rooster around.
Chase the rooster around.
And she flapped hard.
I mean, it would hurt your arm if really hard.
You had to keep it away from your face because if you got too close.
That's right. Oh, yeah, it would flap you really hard.
Yeah.
She loved flapping. So I noticed that her flappings were not as heavy as they were. And winter's coming on, and I'm just like, okay, I got all this stuff to do. And then I've got a couple of other chickens that have special needs, I guess. They're older, and they need their special vitamins, so I have to make sure that they get it and the other ones don't get it. And the duck, she had to have hers, and so it's like running from pen to pen to pen all morning, trying to make sure everybody's got what they need and somebody else didn't get it.
While going back and forth to JT throughout the process as well. So,
making sure that she's okay. So then, I'm just like, I don't know what else to do that I'm not doing. I don't know what to do. And then Daniel called me. And he said...
It's funny because I was like, I'm just going to tear the Band-Aid off. I think we need to take her to the vet. And it's like... And then Laura Lee was like, well, what can they do that we're not doing besides putting her down? And I was like,
that one. And I'm like, okay.
And then we both cried on the phone for a little bit. It was like, okay, we got to make a plan. And because
we knew it was right. We knew it was the right thing.
And we asked her, and she was like, oh, I'm okay sticking around for a little while longer. But then I was like, I forgot what question I asked exactly. I think I just asked, like, is it time? And, like, is it the right time? Is it the best time to do this? And I kept hearing yes.
So interesting about timing. This was on Sunday.
So the vet was closed.
Vet was closed. Monday is Halloween. So I called early, got an appointment for 3:30 on Halloween. So Daniel came and helped me take her. So he was holding her while I drove her to the vet. And it was so sad because, and before we went, we dug the hole for her and found the right
rock
stone
to protect her.
Over. Yeah, so it doesn't get dug up. And, we're crying but we know it's the right thing to do. We just know. It's like, it's time. And she was pale that day and anemic and hardly flapped. I mean, her happy meter was still up, but so we get there and the vets were very excellent. The one that came to they let us stay outside with her until it was time instead of going in.
Because we didn't want to sit in that room.
No,
sitting in the waiting room of the vet with all the other animals going crazy. No. And all the people.
And the people, right.
That's the worst part, is the people.
Animals are okay, it's the people. so we're out there and we're petting her, and we're the vet assistant that came happened to be the one that was there when we took her the first time. So I thought, okay, this is awesome. And they were so compassionate. And I said, okay, so he said, here's the procedure. We'll take her in, we'll give her a sedative, then we'll bring her back, and you can spend some time with her, and then we'll take her back and we'll put her to sleep. And they used gas. I wanted to make sure it wasn't an injection, it was gas. Mm-hmm. So we're sitting there and talking
and crying
and petting her and
listening to really beautiful music in the background.
Music, yes, but she was asleep. She didn't even open her eyes did she open her eyes?
No, even when we left here, the entire drive from here to the vet, which is like a 15-minute drive, she didn't open her eyes once. And especially after she had the sedative, she was...
Yeah, after she was just...
She was very relaxed. Very relaxed. Didn't feel pain, her pain meter was down to like, I think we said a 2 or
1.
Yeah.
It
was very low. And
because normally her pain meter was around a 2. I think after we got there, it was like, it was under a 1. Mm-hmm. So she wasn't in any pain.
Yeah.
And so then they came and took her to give her the final sedative. Mm-hmm. And we're crying but tuning in and making sure everything was make sure the building and all the vets and the vet assistants and all the animals and everybody
and all the people
especially the people,
triple egg them.
So we're both getting the same information at the same time. And I said, I think she just crossed, and you got it at the same time. And then all of a sudden, this music just crescendoed. It was like this beautiful crescendo instrumental. It was just beautiful. And you said it was like not a blast off, but it was what did you call it when she crossed over? It was this like.
I don't remember what I called it, but it was like a comet. Yeah, it was like a comet going through.
Yes.
And she had like every home team member there. All the bird allies, Sweet Cheeks, who's also a quail, was there. Pingu, who's a plasma being, was there. The SVS birds, and the list goes on. Animala, Lattice. Yeah, Hercules was there. Hercules. Like all of them.
Now the thing is, we got the memo on what needed to happen, and I told her the morning that we were preparing her, I said, you've got an adventure coming up, and it's going to be awesome, and you're going to be a shero to us. This is right down your alley, and all you have to do is be yourself and just emanate purity.
Yep.
I'm getting chills now.
Yeah.
So as you just be yourself, and that purity is going to go out. Now the important thing is, this is on Halloween, when there is so much dark magic going on all over the place.
Yeah.
And so her job was to emanate purity that would annihilate this dark crap that was going on.
Yeah.
She did a fantastic job. We heard from some pretty interesting people that said, "Gal, did you notice that this Halloween wasn't creepy and nasty like normal?
It was like a clean slate."
Yeah. I wonder what that was. And we're like, we know.
we know. So one thing that I was hearing when I was heading out to Laura Lee's that day was, in a dark occultist, it is a common practice for dark occultists to kill someone they love. And they don't do it out of compassion. They do it completely out of their own needs. They do it completely because...
Their own wants.
Their own wants. Yeah, it's not a need, it's a want. Part of the reason behind that is, when you do that, it makes you more impervious to authentic love. It makes it where you can shut things down, not be human. You could just be a tyrant and
happy about it.
And happy about it. What we did was with love, you know. Yeah, we benefited from it because, you know, winter is going to be very difficult, but she benefited from it.
Exactly.
And she, you know, she didn't have to suffer through the winter, because we both heard that she would. If she stayed in body during winter.
And we also, I felt like she wouldn't last another week or two. No. She was fading.
Mm-hmm. And it would have been slow.
Yeah, slow, painful for her, for us, trying to take care of her. Like everybody was in pain.
Yeah.
And I just couldn't let her do that.
No.
So so after she crossed, we just felt like, it's hard to even describe it. It's like this peaceful joy.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Yeah. You know, there was a mix of things, like feeling like the weight was off of our shoulders. You know, like you could feel when she broke through the black magic and the different lattice works of bull crap up there. She even broke through a few of the M fields too, the morphogenetic fields, particularly the ones concerning magic. Gosh, you know, I think she did things that we won't even know about for
a while. We're still putting the pieces together. It was only a few days ago. That was on Monday, and it's Thursday night now.
Yeah.
So it's very new.
Time is
still.
weird.
Yeah.
Time is weird.
So she did that, and then we brought her back and buried her with some aurora light dust around her, and it was underneath the one of the roots of one of my cedar trees. And then we put a rock on it, and it has a little sparkly. It's a solar light that sparkles.
It almost looks like a firework, like a stationary firework. Like it doesn't move. It's just the lights glitter and sparkle and change colors.
And then we went out. Oh, and then Daniel played his flute. That was so amazing.
And she said that she did not want a sad song, so I tried my best to make it uplifting and fast.
It was beautiful. We should have had that recorded. That was so pretty. So then Daniel had the idea to take 3 of her feathers and take them down to the other cedar grove and emanate energy from there. And so we did that, and then it was an amazing day. It really was. It was challenging, but it was an amazing thing, especially when we started feeling the changes that she caused through spreading purity throughout the cosmos.
And another interesting thing that happened too is Laura Lee and I both experienced this, where we felt like she was still like sitting right over our hardcore stars.
It felt like part
and
of
I had that for
stars.
days.
Yeah. Yeah. When we both felt that. That was amazing.
Yeah. So currently she is in rehab on this side of the hologram. And, you know, since she is from home, if she decides she wants to, she can go to the UV realms outside the hologram, if she decides to.
But she told me that she kind of wants to stick around and watch out for us.
So. Yeah. She still has time to figure out what she's gonna do. I haven't heard any strict plans of her being a guide or anything.
She's just kind of chilling right now. So
yeah. She's just out chasing bugs.
Yeah.
You know, finally living
doing
that chicken life.
Thing.
Yep. Doing the quail thing.
So that's the beautiful story of another quail tale, like was in my book.
Cryogenetics too.
Right.
Yep.
So yeah, if you did not feel creepy on Halloween, that certainly played a part in that.
Yeah.
A big part.
Yep.
Okay, so I just took a video and it didn't work so well. Let's see if this works. Okay, there's JT. Just gave her some physical therapy. Yeah, that leg. I put on some green goo on it. Yeah. Now it's pulled out her hip joint. I don't know. I just don't know what to do with her. And here's our lattices. They're very friendly. They don't care. You can get right up. Yeah. Okay, gotta go. See you later, alligator. Okay, I turned you around and you turned yourself around. I was trying to get you some water. And look what you did. Oh, there you go. Okay, that works. You're probably pretty thirsty. Huh. She's probably very thirsty. Are you guys taking dust baths? What you guys doing over here? Hmm? How many's in there? Lots of you. You guys are so silly. And we're gonna get you better, okay, girl? We're gonna do that. What you doing, girl? Heaven's sakes! This is kind of a half a blood bath, not a full one. Yeah, and I heard you clucking a minute ago. I've never heard you cluck before. Okay, I take you out now. We stretch your wings and get you in your little swing, okay? Little swing. Yeah, that foot's doing it again. Dang it. Okay. It's Halloween. Yes, it is. Yeah, it's Halloween. What? Do you want to see what's going on in here? You guys, you little Nellies, you're just so freaking cute. Yeah. Always want to stay around her, don't you? Yeah. Yeah. Yep. You want to stay by your sister, huh? Yeah, you're going to get in there, aren't you? Okay, we'll take her out now. It's the last bloodbath. And look out. Here she is. Where's your little leg? It's up there, yeah, and the other one's down there. Looks like it's bleeding a little bit still. On the bottom, let me check that. Let's check your foot on the bottom. Yeah, there's blood coming out of there. Oh, poor little one. Okay, get lots of water so you're not dehydrated. Good girl. And that's water on there, that's not blood, just saying. Okay, have you got your footing? Good girl. Okay, eat some treats. They're very special treats today. Yeah. Num nums. I put this here so the other ones won't come in and steal it, because they were doing that this morning, weren't they? They were coming and heisting your food. Up! Stop that! Little Millie. Are you hungry? No. Here, let's stir it up a bit. It's always better when it's stirred, huh? Huh, JT? You're not gonna eat? You had a little bit this morning. Oh, good girl. Num nums. Okay, I'm gonna go clean the pan. Listen, you're gonna get yourself out of there. I just put you way back in there. What you doing? Huh? Okay. Okay, I'll be back. I'm gonna go clean the pan. I'll be right back, okay? You eat some of those treats, yeah, like that. There's lots of good stuff in there.